Now, Kojo Ponkroma, who himself is a journalist and a former information minister, now he's also saying that the government's proposed Cybersecurity Authority and Amendment Bill, if passed in its current form, would also threaten freedom of speech in Ghana. He said it could result in the criminalization of public expression. And he says what is concerning for him is that this could effectively criminalize certain forms of speech. If the government disagrees with someone's expression, that individual could potentially face up to 10 years in jail. The bill states that if you publish or post false information on any social media platform or even a WhatsApp group, you could be imprisoned. Additionally, if you are a media organization, your license could be revoked. Now, he says that the proposed legislation is a dangerous path, stressing that in a democracy, civil or administrative penalties should be used to address misinformation rather than imprisonment. So let me start with Collins before I come to Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. I don't know whether you've seen a draft copy of this bill or you've read some aspects of it.
I've listened to it, but Moro, I don't even know what went into this whole amendment.
There's an emerging online threat. We need to strengthen our digital security infrastructure.
Almost everybody I've listened to, from CSOs, GJ, Kojo Ponkroma, who himself was a former information minister, points to the fact that if we allow this particular amendment to go through, all we are trying to say is that government wants to control what you say at what point in time, at any point in time. That's not what Kwesi Pratt and go for. It cannot be. Why push for a custodial sentence for what somebody has said? For me, it should be at the highest level should be at a civil remedy, where if somebody says something against you and you think the person has defamed you, you go to court at a civil remedies to get for some damages.
But Collins, quite clearly, haven't you realized that this regime that you are saying we should keep, there are civil and administrative revenues that you can exact. Is it clear that it's not working?
Somebody said something. I prefer ugly noises to the court of silence. It is better to allow everybody to voice out whatever they want to say. If you think you have been defamed on the basis of what the person said, go to court. File a civil suit. The person should to be incur some damages. But to say that don't speak, that becomes a problem. Then where is the democracy? If I don't have the right to express myself how I think it should be done, then there's a problem. Any law that is aimed at custodial sentence, my brother, we should be very careful. Then you make mockery of what Kwesi fought for all these years. Going to court, being in prison for all these years, just because we could have an opportunity like this today to speak our minds.
Speak responsibly.
But who told you that everything I've said here, the viewers, they agree with everything I said here?
But that's make it irresponsible.
They're not getting my point. The viewers, some viewers disagree with me.
That's fine.
Disagree with me.
That's how it's supposed to be.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
It's an expression of opinion.
But if government on their own can decide, an organization can set a commission or anything, can decide whether what you said is good or bad, then that's a problem.
But doesn't the government of the day also have a responsibility
we can have
ensuring that, of protecting the...
who decides that what I said was wrong?
Collins, do you disagree with me that fake news and disinformation is in itself is a national security threat?
I don't have any problem with that. I agree with you.
And you don't think that the government has a responsibility?
The solution to that is not to put the person in jail.
Okay.
If you put the person in jail, what you are saying that the person cannot speak. That's what you are doing.
You can speak.
Where?
Why not? Nobody can ask you. Nobody can stop you from speaking. But speak responsibly. Speak responsibly.
I don't have a problem with re-sanitizing the system.
Okay.
I don't have a problem. I don't think if this is even...
I'm sure you've been maligned before. I'm sure you've been... All kinds of fake news have been thrown at you before.
Those fake news, I have the right to go to court under civil suit.
Okay.
Yes. But I don't think I should go to court and say, Moro has said something about me. It's wrong, so please put Moro in jail. And if you look at the amendment, they are giving them some powers, like a police. Powers of arrest. Hey, Moro. Now if you speak and you don't speak well, there's a group of people, not police, to come and arrest you. Oh, please. I'm happy we are still in the consultative stage. All this discussion is to help fine-tune the law. When it is laid, I don't know whether it has been laid on the floor. If it does,
No, it hasn't.
okay. If it comes,
Still the consultative
fantastic. If
phase.
it comes, there's a stage in the law-making process we call the consideration stage. At that stage, amendments will be raised, and I'm sure everybody will understand, even the government themselves that is trying to push this through. I'm sure they are listening. The conversation going on. I'm not too sure if anybody has sided with them on this particular amendment. The DJA themselves, Ghana Journalists Association themselves. Do you know there's some aspect that calls for closure of radio stations and TV stations? Moro. So if I come here and I say something and it's fake, the commission can come and close Metro TV. What kind of law is that?
The devil is a liar. Obviously.
What kind of law is this?
I don't know whether you've been studying this draft bill or you've just seen aspects of it.
Well,
bits and pieces.
I've read it once.
Right.
And I've read a number of commentaries on the bill. And at the end of that exercise, I thought it was important to alert people in government, that they may not be in power forever. I mean, I don't know of any government in the world which has been in power forever. As usually happens, governments enact laws which eventually catch up with them. And I'll give you a few examples. The Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, gives us unfettered rights to demonstrate, to protest, and so on. The NDC decided to place fetters on those rights and came up with a public order law. At that time, they were in government. In 7 years or so, they came into opposition. And they had to face the very laws that they themselves had enacted, the public order law. The High Court then began stopping protests from the opposition and so on. It could happen with this new legislation. And they ought to be careful. We ought to think in the broader interest of Ghana. The right to free expression is a right which is guaranteed by the Constitution. We should not do anything to undermine it. You see, one of the provisions that I read, which got me very, very alarmed, is the provision which says that if somebody says something or writes something on your platform and it's not true, if you don't take it down within 24 hours, you're liable.
Right.
I mean, on many occasions that things are pasted on our various social handles and so on, that you don't even get to see within 24 hours.
Right.
You will go to prison for that. You understand? Now, the other thing which worries me is simply the fact that we are enacting a law which will make the regulator a police institution. The regulator will have powers of prosecution. And I wonder how that sits with Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution. You understand? And so I think there are major problems. And indeed, all the commentary I've read so far, I haven't read one commentary which supports this bill. Not one. I haven't. If you have, you may tell me. I haven't seen one commentary which supports this bill. In fact, the kindest of the commentaries that I've read are those that say that no, let's halt, let's look at it well because there's a problem. But the other commentaries that actually completely condemn this as being draconian and so on. So I think we need to rethink. It is not comfortable, it's not comforting. Look, the Ghana Journalists Association and virtually all the media organizations have come up and said this is dangerous. I think we have to stop and reconsider,